can't spell fuck your money without ginger shots.
Not you giving product placements.
Sponsorship. We're back with another episode of Fuck You Money with Ty and Yo.
What's happening?
How you doing, Ty?
I'm amazing, man. I'm amazing. I was at SoFi Stadium today, right? And you know, usually when you tell people like, when people like, so how you doing? Right. You usually get some dreaded answers. People like, the one that's like the favorite is like, I won't complain, right? And they try to like.
That won't do nothing.
Yeah, like that's a positive thing. But it was this black woman, we were trying to find these passes, right? At the stadium. The stadium is huge. So she was like, I was like, Aisha, how you doing? I was like, I'm amazing. She was like, yes, indeed. She said, woke up another day and nothing better than waking up. That's some shit I always say. And so the fact that I heard her saying it, I was like, man, that shit kind of made me happy. But it is very, very, very enlightening to have that level of thinking. A lot of people don't, you know what I'm saying?
I think you were telling me about your celebration phobia.
Yeah.
And how, you know, I think sometimes people, because they feel amazing, they go do something amazing.
1,000%.
To kind of support that internal feeling with something external, but you're not like that.
No, I literally I'm probably the only person diagnosed with celebration phobia. Like, it's this concept that kind of like hit me and it throws me off because I'm like, oh, hell no, I don't want to do that. That sounds like I'm gonna die, right? And so it'd be something as simple as, you know, some people, they'll celebrate and they'll go to the club, they'll drink, right? And they'll like they might not get fully intoxicated, but they get intoxicated to the point where they probably shouldn't be driving.
They don't feel good.
They don't want to feel good. Then they might drive home and then get in a car accident and die. Like, that's how my brain works when celebration comes in. So outside of me just don't think, I don't, like alcohol just like, I tasted before, I'm like, this stupid. But that definitely helps drive this thought process of like, I don't want to drink because I like celebration phobia.
I feel like the first time I heard you even kind of talk about this, we was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was me, you, and Russell. And Ty was talking about how he celebrates things before they happen. And I never heard that before. And I feel like that's attached to the phobia.
1,000%. So what I'll do is like, somebody was like, oh, you wrote the book. Oh, how do you feel now that it's finished? I was like, I don't feel no way because I celebrated once I realized that I was gonna write a book. Like, I celebrated like it happened. So that's not, I mean, it is a part of me like speaking, manifesting and things of that nature.
Right.
But it's not necessarily the primary reason, to say the least, because I'm thinking like, man, I can't really celebrate when it happens because I might do some shit, I might die, right?
It's the I might die part for me.
Yeah, because like, and the crazy thing about it is, like death is something that's gonna happen, right? My fears is not dying. My fear is dying dumb. Like, I like the dumb deaths. Yeah. It's like a dumb death is like walking and then you slip and fall over the side of the bridge and get hit by a car. Like, bro, what are you doing? What's your coordination? Like, what is going on? So I have like this thing about dumb deaths. Yeah. So that drives a lot of like my phobia on dying through celebration, right? If you celebrate, think about it. You did so good in life that you celebrated. And then you end up getting into a car accident dying because you drunk too much.
In the midst of your celebration.
Nah, that's fucked up. That's
And Ty has to be one of the most positive people that I know. His brain does not necessarily go to the negative of something. But when it comes to celebration, I understand that he is not the one that's gonna go to the strip club and throw money because we sold 1 million books.
No. So I'm gonna go to the strip club and throw money because I'm gonna just go to the strip club and throw money.
Yeah.
But it ain't gonna be me celebrating anything. It's just gonna be, that's a part of our upbringing in the city. It's a part of that experience. So then it becomes normal. But I had a classmate who, his name was Tony Underwood. Me and Tony kind of grew to like be homies when we was younger. Because I had really bad puberty growing up. Like my skin was fucked up. And Tony had the same fucked up problem. So we always,
Y'all
kind
bonded.
of like connected from that perspective.
Yeah.
But Tony drowned at Daytona Beach probably about, I don't know, man, maybe 10 years ago.
Wow.
I'm 39, so I mean I was 29. It probably been like early 30s. Like he passed away. And what ended up happening is they was down there spring break, and Tony should have got his ass out the water when they said get out of the water. It was one of those things, when they put up the red shit.
Yeah.
Like you gotta get your ass out the water because it's a storm.
Yeah,
So
the tides coming in
tides
crazy.
is high. So him and his partner, they was out in the water still, but had their life jackets on. But the tides were so strong, it hit him, pulled him under, and then when he came out, the life jacket just snatched off.
Oh.
Then they couldn't find him, and then they find him pronounced him dead
right.
hours later. But bro, that was at spring break, bro. They was in Daytona spring break, celebrating, having fun. Yes, they should not have been in the water when the folks say get out of the water. That is not smart. You know what I'm saying? But like that's different from how my my best friend Devin got murdered at a Sweet 16 birthday party, right? When we was 19 years old. So like they go to a party, celebrating, right? He's like 6'2", 225 in high school. No. We was 1 year removed from high school. So this happened. We graduated 2002. This happened 2003. So he happened to bump into a kid, this Asian kid, and the Asian kid fell down one stair. So he called his older cousin, and kind of the shit escalated from there. But they was celebrating somebody. It was homecoming weekend for our high school. It was in the celebration, right? It wasn't like a regular day-to-day function. So for me, the celebration things are like when my awareness is like the highest. You know what I'm saying? If we celebrated anything, you'll see me, I'm being like looking around, slick paranoid.
Because you're like, this is when something can go wrong.
Yeah, this is when something can go wrong, when I'm like thinking about the times that I have felt somebody passed away through my personal experience, been like these different things, right? So it's it segues into like this shiny prison theory that we're gonna talk about today, right? Because your success brings you into a prison that's shiny, that's nice, that's cute. So some success can end up having a person die prematurely. Some success can have you in a situation where you're earning a lot of money, you're getting, you're successful in your craft, but if something shifts and change into that world, now you're stuck in a shiny prison. And that's what we're gonna talk about today.
Man, Ty, that was, the celebration phobia transitioned into the shiny prison. I wanted to ask you, do people on your team understand your phobia?
Oh no, they don't fuck with it.
They don't fuck.
Well, the people that, cause you gotta think about it, right? When you're, first of all, if you're black and you're making, if you do the data, if you're making $100,000 a year, you're in the 25 percentile of the country. That means that you're 25% of the, only 25% of the people in this country make $100,000 or more, right? So when you're operating, you're having some level of success as an entrepreneur, no matter what sector of business you're in, there's a lot of wins that you have to be a successful entrepreneur. And when you halfway celebrate it, your team is like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you acting like this? Like, this is not something that's different. And it's not that I don't care about it. It's just that I celebrate when I think it. so I'm like, if I'm like, we're gonna sell a platinum, we're gonna do a platinum album. Yeah. I'm celebrating it before it happens. So that, cause I'm dreading celebrating it when it really happens in real life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm celebrating shit in the supernatural. That's what I'm doing. In the supernatural.
But I love that conceptually because it keeps you out of the real shiny prison in a lot of different ways. But I think the first time I heard Ty even mention shiny prison was our first Fuck You Money conversation. It was like a pilot episode. Ty mentioned shiny prison. And it just sounded like something I've never heard no one say. I never even imagined that a prison could be shiny. Prisons are usually some of the darkest, dankest, most terrible places a person can exist in.
Not in the feds. From the stories I've heard, I've never been to prison before.
Me neither. But when you talk about shiny prison, it seems like something that can almost confuse you. You might not even realize that you're trapped or that you can't get out. So do you know when you first conceptualized the idea or an example of what a shiny prison is for somebody who might not understand?
Right. So I don't think I actually conceptualized it myself. I think there's some shit I heard or I read somewhere. But usually when that happens, I just think that my granddaddy told me, which I know that can't be accurate because this is something new and my granddaddy has been dead. So
there's something old and black about it, though.
It definitely sounds like something old and black. Like, boy, you better stop or your shiny prison gonna kill you. Like, it just sounds like an old cigarette smoking mechanic.
Dead ass.
They're talking about your carbonator.
I'm telling you, boy.
Your carbonator, your alternator, and then you see, now you're in the shiny prison. So the concept comes from me where it's like a mismanagement of your actual growth, right? So let's say you're at a job, you do well in that job, you $60,000 a year on that job. Your boss really loves you, believes that you can excel for the company. Next thing you know, you get a raise. You get a $20,000 bump. You get a new title. Now you're making $80,000. Up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're getting closer to that 25 percentile,
yep.
right? But you just don't take that $80,000, that $20,000 bump and start to say, I'm gonna put in more stocks. I'm gonna put in more. You said, nah, I'm gonna go get the new car.
Yep.
I'm gonna get the new boo.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get the new apartment.
Yep.
Right? Cause I'm up.
Shoot, might go get a little mistress on the side.
Yeah, you the mistress or whatever it is, right? We're gonna come back to the mistress when it comes to shiny prison, so I can walk you through a story that happened. But now, you're 6 months into that new role. You living the life, baby. You got your new whip, your new boo, your new crib. You know what I'm saying? You probably Uber eating more than you probably should, going out to the lounges more than you probably should. And the boss that gave you that up, they left. They went and got a new job. Now you got a new boss. You can't stand this motherfucker. That motherfucker can't stand you. But this ain't your dream job. You stuck in a shiny prison that you don't put yourself in because you can't leave. Now you can leave, but how you gonna pay for all this shit you done built up? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna pay for this overhead that you just created that you did not have to create?
You didn't have to create it, especially because when you first got this job, it was supposed to be temporary. You never considered that this is where I want to be, the life I see for myself.
Nope.
But as you were good at the job, right?
Yep.
So
as most of us are.
It's improving.
Yep.
And you want to satisfy that hunger in yourself to showcase that I'm up. I'm doing better.
Love being up.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit up.
Yep.
But like you said, there's a change in the company, and that's when you really realize you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But you look around, but you want to keep the car.
Ooh.
You want to keep the Uber Eats.
Gotta keep the Uber Eats.
She want the Chanel.
She gotta have the Chanel.
So what you gonna tell her we gonna downsize?
Ooh. See, downsize is really the key to unlock that sale of the shiny prison. But downsize.
That's a heavy key, Ty.
Yeah, downsizing means that you gotta tell your new boo, this 3-bedroom condo we got looking over the LA skyline, we gotta go to a 1-bedroom joint in Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm finna downgrade from the scat. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get that Hyundai. Cause they're gonna save us some money on insurance, they're gonna save us some money on our car note.
You go from balling out, talk about saving money.
And so, and we can't do that Uber Eats like that for no more. Like, so you don't know how to cook? Then you realize that your new boo don't know how to cook. You don't really know how to cook, so now you gotta figure out how to cook. So you you slowly out of the shiny prison. The food tastes bad down there. It don't feel like you got out of prison.
It's crazy how it almost like your conditions worsen.
You're worsen.
To get you out of this prison.
So what we need to highlight is that in order to get out of the shiny prison, your conditions have to worsen. But your money don't worsen though.
No.
Your money is gonna be up.
Yep.
Right? But your quality of life for the moment it's gonna be in the mud.
No, and again,
right?
this is temporary.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Listen, bro. Manure is used to grow plants, nigga. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, if we just take the approach that Mother Nature gives us, you gotta get some shit before you can grow the plant.
For some growth.
You know what I'm saying?
Take some shit to grow.
Yeah, take some shit to grow, man. So like, when we start talking about the thought process of this shiny prison, the keys to get out of the shiny prison, you know, key words, downgrade, you know, cook,
yeah,
you know, grocery shop,
yep.
you know, you can't do that Uber Black.
No.
Can't do that Uber SUV.
No. You might need to be walking.
I won't say you gotta walk, but you might want to get you a bike. You know, so get you a bike so that, you know, that Hyundai, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if you only live about 3 miles from the joint, you know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have to probably get rid of that gym membership. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well get you the bike,
it's so
ride back and forth, you know what I mean? But realistically, when you taste that up, when you taste that up,
it's honey.
You don't want to not taste that up no more. Especially when it's still there.
You never want to.
It's one thing to lose it all and be forced to go back. But to say, I got it.
Yep.
But I'ma just go and forcefully, intentionally.
You keep going to that job. You keep dealing with that boss because you're holding on to things. Yeah. You're holding on to things. And honestly, that builds stress. That creates conflict at home, conflict at work.
Yeah, because now you just find out your new boo can't really cook.
Yeah. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt you and her because she don't want to cook. She don't want to learn to cook.
That ain't what she signed up for. You know, she signed up for because she like the taste of that up.
She want the $80,000 nigga.
Yeah,
she don't like this $45,000.
Because guess what? She going to have a job.
Yep.
Let's say she making $50,000. She got to follow the suit because y'all a team.
Yep.
If it's gonna be the real new boo,
yep.
You know, so now you gotta follow the team. You know what I mean? It ain't none of that. It ain't none of them side chicks that you want to go to the club and buy the drinks to, and you know what I'm saying? Ain't none of that. Like, all the mistress and all that. Ain't none of that. Because you got too much time on your hand at the house now. You exposed.
You exposed.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go out and hit that top golf.
No.
You know what I mean?
You ain't throwing no money at the strip club.
It's not forever though.
No.
It's only to position yourself.
It's gonna hurt.
Hey,
it's gonna hurt. The pride aspect of it's gonna hurt. Now, Todd, have you ever felt you were in a shiny prison and had to get out? Or was that a job?
Hell no, I used to stay with my mama. I remember having this conversation with Jane, and my mom was actually in the bedroom. My mom was actually in the living room. And me and Jane was at my apartment in the hallway arguing. Cause she's really artist friendly. I'm really not that artist friendly.
You're not really people friendly.
Yeah, well, I can be people friendly. Yeah. But I'm not really that artist friendly. What I am is I'm integral. Mm-hmm. And just so that my integrity happens to lean artist friendly sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I remember me and her was going back and forth. And I told her, I said, listen, every last one of these niggas can fire me. I'm gonna go stay with my mama and get my job back at Delta. In 24 months, I'm back up. Give a fuck about these niggas like that. To the point where if they don't give a fuck about me, I'm not changing who I am as a person to represent anybody, right? Mm-hmm. And my mama was literally in the living room as I was saying this, right? But so for me, I ain't, right? One of the homies, right, that work with us, Woody told me one time, Woody said, no, mind you, Woody be studying the book. Woody is around us, so when certain people are around you, Woody. Some people take the experience and really learn, and then some people, they're just on the ride and they're not understanding what's happening around them, right? So I like to think Woody is one of those people that's just like, I'm soaking this game up. Like, I ain't finna fuck this up, right? Mm-hmm. So I think when Woody first got an apartment, Woody's apartment cost more than mine. Right? Oh, it was the same cost. I think it was the same cost. I think both of us paying like $1,800 a month. So one day I just heard Woody was like, yeah, man, I'm moving in with Woot down the hall. So I'm like, cause we all stay in the same building. I thought, you moving down the hall? He was like, yeah, man, I got a studio apartment that's like cheaper. Then he said, it just wasn't sitting right with me that you make way more money than me and we paying the same amount in rent. And I just thought that was funny as shit.
It's just not sitting right with me.
He said it just wasn't sitting right with me. And I just respected it that man took it upon himself to say, I'm gonna save this $600 a month. And I'm gonna go pay $1,200. That's $600 a month, bro. That's literally, in some parts in the world, a mortgage, right? And what that young man did is he went back to Philly. He created a bi-coastal lifestyle that he went back to Philly, traveled between Philly and LA. He had a girl at the time. They didn't have a child at the moment, but now they got a family. And he had a family house. He did some restructuring of some things to that extra $600 a month, put it into renovating their home where they stay at now that they own. So this man decreased his living,
overhead,
went back to Philly and renovated a crib that was in their families already that he didn't have to really pay for. And it created a way that now saving $600 a month is a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You start doing that math, you're like, hold on, $600.
Saving $600 a month, not spending.
Saving $600 a month, yeah. So that's $1,800 a quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you start looking at certain people's lifestyles, you gotta almost be like, yo, I like what that person is doing, but you gotta be conscious enough to know, like, I ain't there yet.
Yeah.
Because if not, you be in that shiny prison.
That shit.
You know what I'm saying? You be in that shiny prison, bro.
But hold on, you were telling me about your time at Costco's.
So when I was working at Costco's, 2007, my cousin got me the job, right? My cousin had been working at Costco so long, then I think the nigga still at Costco's, right? And I worked at Costco the 6 o'clock in the morning shift to 12. But I would be out at the clubs promoting parties and stuff, and then trying to get to sleep by noon, by midnight. So I was always sleeping at the job. But what I would do is on my 15-minute break, before I go to my 30-minute break, I would take a quick little nap, 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying, get me a little in it. Because I drove forklifts, so I couldn't sleep on the job without fucking up the 18-wheeler trailer or running into somebody or hurting somebody.
Right.
So when I did my 30-day review, the Mexican guy that was the guy that was over us, the supervisor, he had on my review that I sleep on the job. I'm like, bro, I don't sleep on the job. What are you talking about? I sleep on my 15-minute break. And the way that the 15-minute break was set up, it was like a water thing, and it would be on the actual where everybody work at, but it's like in the corner. There used to be a stool. Instead of me going to the break room, I just catch me that 10-minute thing, pop out. I'm back up with a little energy to kind of get through my 6-hour shift, right?
Gotcha.
I said, bro, I don't sleep on a job. I said, we drive forklifts, my bro. My boy, like, I'll kill somebody if I slept on the job.
Maybe
I said, I ain't signing that, right?
Yeah.
So what I started to realize is that everybody knew that he would be on the bullshit and nobody really liked him, but everybody that worked there, they had a lifestyle that they had to maintain. So they had kids or they had mortgages, all of those different things. So that's when I saw the shiny prison shit in real time, because a lot of people didn't like him, right? They might necessarily like their job for what it was, but they didn't really like working alongside him.
Right.
And so that was the first time that I seen the shiny prison shit. Bro, I was late one time on my 60-day notice. Bro, them folk fired me. Gave me my check that they owed me, let me go.
One time?
One time, because bro didn't like how he felt probably when I was like, I ain't signing that, bro.
That's crazy.
Because if I'm gonna sign that, I'm basically agreeing to you that something that's like, I don't lie and don't be bullshitting like that. Like, you're not finna tell me I'm asleep on the job. That means that I was in the forklift sleep. Not on my break, in the forklift sleep. Nah, I might have, even if you'd have said, hey man, you need to get more rest because you be nodding off sometimes. I would have been like, you know what? You're right, bro, I'm gonna try to get some rest. Nah, that man said, you be sleeping on the job, and he had it on my thing, so.
And you was like, I'm not gonna sign this because I'm not gonna agree to
1,000%.
this lie.
Nah, fuck that. So you mentioned something about the mistress, you know, when you get up,
you know,
niggas don't usually be the most honest, and they got some side shit going on, whatever, they divorced for a reason, whatever the case may be.
They got some extra money though, they can afford it.
Oh, you can't afford it. So I'm sitting down one time, I'm talking to the nigga Lucian Grange, right? We in a meeting, Tunji had set the meeting up for me to come in and like, I guess talk about what a partnership could look like.
Okay.
So he was talking to me. The first thing I said to him, I was like, I can't stand the music business. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of terrible people in the music business. Mm-hmm. He leaned into me. He was like, I agree. I thought that shit was wild. I'm like, you the CEO of one of the biggest, and you agree with me that these people are terrible people in the music business.
Without like rebuttal, like that.
So
I agree.
So he was like, a lot of artists come to him and ask him about new managers, right? Because like when they fire their new managers, what they should do about it. So he said some shit that really like gave me some clarity on like a lot of things. He said, what I would tell them, I would never tell them who to work with as a manager. He said what I would do is I would introduce them to people, but I would tell them this first. First, ask for their financials, right? He said because if you get a manager that got bad financials, they're gonna make bad decisions on behalf of you too, right? He says, secondly, ask them, are they divorced, are they married, are they single? He said because if they're divorced, they probably got alimony, child support. So they got a lot of financial things that might necessarily not give them the best clarity on to make decisions on behalf of your career, right? And it was one more other thing that he said that kind of like really stood out. But he was basically telling the artists, don't get in partnership with a motherfucker that's in a shiny prison, because you're gonna come in thinking that it's all peaches and cream and that the things that you're doing are gonna be managed properly when they don't even manage their life properly. So if they can't manage their life properly, why in the hell would you think that they're gonna be able to manage your career properly, right? One of the things Brent always tell me, like, you cheap, man. You cheap, man. You'll never wanna spend no money. I'm like, man, call it whatever you wanna call it. Recently, one of the OGs told him, he not cheap, he's smart. You know what I'm saying? And so, cause Brent like to spend money on creatives. Like he like to invest into creatives. So he'll spend, if you let him, he'll spend $400,000 on a music video. Me, I'm like, boy, you crazy, boy, I ain't going to that shiny prison, boy. Nah, but we're not doing that. I'm straight, I got $50,000. Figure it out with that 50 piece, but unless you got some sponsorship. But he don't really like the fact that I'm cheap pertaining to those different things, right? I'm just like, hey bro, like I don't know what to tell you, because I'm so aware of like how we can put ourselves in so much debt that we have to do things that we really don't want to do.
And you're not just cheap when it comes to like creative marketing. You're careful with money holistically.
1,000%. Yeah, like I'm very like mindful of when I'm spending things, what I'm spending it for. Is it gonna make me some money? You know what I mean? But like from a shiny prison perspective, I was talking to Troy about this. I talked to a few people. I was like, man, I'm so blessed that I can just sit down and take what I make a year and say, okay, I'm gonna pull $250,000 out. I'm gonna live off of that. And I'm gonna just retire and be an investor. I'm gonna just find people that got good ideas and I'm gonna just invest. And I'm gonna just do non-profit work. But I was like, man, I'm gonna be bored as hell, man. I'm too young at this point. That's some shit you do when you like 55, 60. But I'll be 5 years in and that shit on the island, bored as hell. Next thing you know, I'm running for president on the island. When I really don't want to be the president, but I'm so bored.
You just need something to do.
I need something to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna take that route.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep building this multimedia company. But I can do that because I don't have, like, I didn't put myself in bad financial burden from that perspective. Me saving my money, I paid off all my student loans, right?
You know what year?
This
or is this like recently?
Year.
Okay.
Yeah, this year. I paid off all my student loans right before I purchased the first piece of property in my name, personally. Cause I was like, then niggas started telling me that they got their loans forgiven, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have qualified because I haven't had loans for 20 years.
Okay.
That's one of the qualifications. If you had it for over 20 years, they kind of like wipe your joints
Your loans
out.
are more recent?
Yeah, because I graduated in 2010. You know what I'm saying? So You know, I've been out of high school for 20 years.
Right,
I ain't
right,
had
but then,
student loan
yeah,
for 20 years.
You don't got no
know what I'm
debt
saying?
from
Because
public
my
school.
first 4 years of college was like scholarship.
Scholarship, right.
So I didn't really have no loans. It wasn't until I got to black college, I was like, these niggas look at scholarship differently. Their scholarships ain't like the white people's scholarship.
Yeah.
I need a loan.
I need a loan.
I need
I need a loan.
And then when I got to Georgia when I got to Georgia State, I would take out loans to pay for my overhead. Because I worked at Target and I really couldn't afford like to just only make money from Target. So while I was in school, if I could qualify for $10,000 for that semester, but my tuition was probably like maybe like $3,000, $4,000. I would take that difference, pay all my stuff up, take a trip. I would pay for like a trip to go somewhere.
Right.
And then I would do it every semester.
Yeah.
So that's how I really got my debt through that process.
Got in debt.
Running
that
I would be like,
for 4 years.
I'll pay that shit off when I get rich. That's like I always say, I'll pay that shit off when I get rich.
Pay it.
I said that shit since I was 20. I fucked my credit up. My mom was always telling me, yo, pay your bills. Like, if I don't know these folks, fuck these folks. I'll pay it off when I get rich. You know what I'm saying? So that was not a good way about going and doing it.
So hold
that
on.
ain't what the coach playbook says.
No, that was the early time.
That was the damn
But hold on,
breakfast.
your money consciousness. I mean, that didn't sound like you were just spending money for the sake of spending money, but you kind of forecast that you would have more than enough to pay those things off.
Yeah.
But did you really believe it, or was that just your way of just kind of putting it off till later?
I definitely believed it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So I pay that shit off when I get rich, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get rich, I'll pay all that shit off. I ain't stealing that shit.
Even before you knew how you would get rich?
Nah, nigga, I ain't know. I just gotta get rich.
This shit ghetto. I gotta get rich.
I gotta get rich, bro.
It's funny. You kind of remind me, your Costco story reminds me when I used to work at Racetrack.
Oh shit, Racetrack. Yeah.
Right there by Starship in Riverdale. Now, how I got the job was interesting because I come out of high school in 2009. The recession is going on. So the job market is terrible. I'm going to job fairs with folks. It's like 40, 45, bro. I'm not getting no callbacks. So I don't know if people know this, but when you work at a gas station, you're not supposed to give minors liquor, right? You're supposed to always check the ID. If someone does not check an ID, they fire the entire store. The entire store gets terminated. Somebody did not card like a police officer, and they fired everyone they gutted the entire store. So I get a call to come in for an interview because they have no employees.
That's
so I'm like,
wild.
Cool. So I come in, I get the job, I start training, do the whole thing, making like $10 an hour. It's cool. It's 2011. This is fine.
Yeah, way before they started putting the minimum wage
You know what I'm
laws
saying?
in that.
Exactly, yeah. So cool. 20 years
Oh,
old.
2011?
Yeah, it's like 2011.
Bro, in 2008, I had the job. No. I'm lying. Yeah, I got the job at Delta 2011.
Really?
I was making like $10 an hour too.
Yeah, so okay, you know, that check's not bad. But I got two managers, right? I got this one lax white man, and I got like a drill sergeant black brother. All right? Drill sergeant does not play. All right?
You got
Also,
everywhere.
I'm working graveyard shift, so I'm dealing with strippers, truck drivers, drill sergeant. I'm getting characters.
That sound like a mixtape.
So
Strippers, truck drivers, drill
I'm
sergeants.
telling you, that was me at Racetrack.
What about yo, boy? Hey, boy, we got know that thing.
This is I'm doing 11 to 7.
Yeah.
11 p.m. to 7 a.m. First 2 weeks are straight, but I realized that when I'm working with the right manager, he got like a blunt by the trash can. Like, you want to hit that? Nah, bro, I literally just got this job. You know what I'm saying? So he playing with his Khalifa, cushion orange juice. I kid you not, Ty, my man.
Hope he ain't had no shiny
chilling.
prison, Bucket. He about to get out of there.
I thought I was looking out with him. I'm like, I fuck around with you. Ain't gonna have no job. But he would be so lax that I would work lax. When I was with the drill sergeant, I tried to work lax. He was not going for it, Ty. I'm sitting here thinking like, dang, bro, I thought other brother, he fucked with me. He like, bro, you do a good job. Yeah. I work with a drill sergeant. He looking at me crazy, Ty, like, bro, what's up? I'm just like, man, I'm working. Man, Ty, they cut my hours. Cut my hours. Hours get cut right. I'm confused. So the supervisor's like, yeah, you know what, yo, man, you know, like let's say I had like a Monday to Friday, all of a sudden I was like Monday to Wednesday. So I lost 2 days. Like, it's $10 an hour, bro. I need these hours. Ty, wow, bro. I'll never forget this. I'm in the store. I'm with the drill sergeant. The Cheeto lady coming in, dropping off the Flaming Hots.
Yeah,
right?
Flaming Hots. Gotta get the Flaming Hots.
Bruh tell me, he was like, you know why your hours got cut? I was like, you know why? He was like, I'm telling you a bad worker. I'm like, whoa. I'm a bad worker. I'm like, now we're arguing in front of this lady. I'm hot. Yeah. I'm hot. Cause I'm like, the other guy's telling me, man, I love yo. Yeah. So now I'm like, oh no, I ain't doing this. Ty, I come in the next day and I do everything superbly. Right? I come in, I knock out everything in such a way where our supervisor comes in at 7 o'clock. He's like, man, yo, looks amazing in here. Did a great job. Dress was like, yeah, you did a great job. I was like, thank you, I quit. I was like, I quit. I'm not doing this. And this is what I fucked up. At the time, I did not have a car. So I had my mama was coming to pick me up every day at 7 a.m. Ty, why the day I quit, right? I had it in my mind, I was gonna just walk out, jump in the car and drive away. I walk outside, is she not there? She's not there, Ty. So now I'm sitting on the sidewalk. I call her, she's asleep. So I'm like, yo, can you come get me? She sleep. I call my boy. I was like, bro, I just quit this job. I need you to come get me. He's like, I got you. I sat there for so long, they offered me my job back. I swear to God. He came out there.
You want to come on back in? He came
out there and was like, you want to think about this? You want to think about this? Now, I said all this to say, that's the day I decided to be a writer. Because I was like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something that I actually enjoy doing. Now, I didn't make no money writing, so I was unemployed for 2 years because, again, now I'm back at these job fairs, couldn't get work, but I'm writing during this process. So that's when I'm really kind of learning what would eventually be the craft. But I think about if I would have just stayed at that racetrack and would have just been like, I don't like bro, but I
need this money.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be more like a drill sergeant than Wiz Khalifa. Yeah. But I was like, I'd rather review Wiz Khalifa than stay in racetrack. So that was me kind of realizing very early on that there's certain dynamics that you have to kind of deal with in the workplace, that if you make decisions for yourself, they might not fit the job.
1,000%.
And, you know, again, at the time, I'm 20 years old. I wasn't really thinking about my future in the sense of, I need money right now. I thought I needed something that I enjoy doing.
Bro, let me tell you, the facet of what you're talking about is so crazy. So this whole concept of shiny prisons, like, it hit me very hard when I was about to get ready to graduate with my degree. Can you imagine? I graduated high school in 2002, right? It's 2010. I only took 1 year off of high school. 1 year out of college. So it took me 9 years to like graduate. Like, cause I transferred.
Damn.
I went to 3 different colleges, sat a year out, right? Bruh, when I tell you that end of November, I started panicking.
Really?
I gotta get a job. I got a degree. I gotta get a job. So I go on a series of interviews, right? This one I knew that, as I'm reframing and I'm reflecting now, I knew I was never gonna be in a shiny prison, bro. Cause I became like a professional job quitter, bro. I went on this interview. Mind you, I got a psychology degree.
Yeah.
So the first thing I go to is like, I get invited to be like this, at this kids rehabilitation center in like perimeter, like the perimeter area, right?
Yeah.
So I go in there, I'm doing the interview. And bro, that interview was so traumatizing. I'm in there with this woman, a guy I can't even remember, bro. I just erased that shit out of my head. So they got a center where they look at the problem youth between like the ages of like 13 to 18, right? But these niggas bad. When I say bad, the lady said, so just so you know, she looking at me, she said, so just so you know, there will be absolutely no tolerance of falling asleep on the job. So I'm like, cool, man, you know you can't fall asleep on a job. That's like job one-on-one.
That shit's chasing
like,
you.
why she even saying this so even, right? Then she said, because if you fall asleep on a job, one of the kids might hurt you. I'm like, whoa. Am I at a prison? Like, what do you mean one of the kids might hurt me if I fall asleep? Hold on, right?
One of the kids might hurt you.
Then she said, sometimes, you know, we might have to restrain the kids. They might get a little hostile, you have to restrain them. Bro, they was paying like $12 an hour. I said, man, I'm not gonna be beating up no kids for no $12 an hour. Y'all got me fucked up. So I didn't even go back to the return. I didn't go back, I just left, right? I didn't, like literally, this ain't gonna work. Bruh, I bullshit you not. I go to this, I get this job fair thing offline, right? They're like, got a degree, earn up to 6 figures a year, right? So I said, bet. So I take my car, I drive up to Gwinnett County.
Oh, you want to Gwinnett? Okay.
Boom, I go in, I'm dressed up, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Guy had just graduated from University of Georgia. He had like a convertible or some shit. He's like, jump in, we're gonna go, do orientation.
Okay.
Get in the car with him. We go from Gwinnett County to Boulder Crest Road.
Okay.
Gucci Man land.
Let's go.
We go to Boulder Crest Road. So I'm on the east side. I'm like, why the fuck this motherfucker got on a jacket and tie, these uncomfortable ass shoes. Then we go to Boulder Crest Road. What's the gas station Gucci rap about?
Oh, Texaco?
The Texaco
Yeah,
on Boulder
Texaco.
Crest Road. Bro, we going person to person selling windshield cleaner, right? So I'm like, I get out the car, I'm looking around like, what, bro? We in the hood, like this is the Texaco. The hood. We nigga running up on niggas like, hey, you wanna like, niggas like, oh, bro, what you doing in the hood?
From Gwinnett to
Bruh.
Boulder Crest.
Now I don't got no car. I'm tapped out because I'm like, this is crazy. Mind you, the product that they had, that clean the windshields, impeccable.
Okay.
Incredible product. But we're not doing door to door. We're running up on people's
Car.
at the gas station. Bruh, bullshit you not, bro. I called my homegirl, Nene. I said, hey, bro, whatever you doing, stop right now. Please come get me. So she pulls up with her son in the back. I said, hey, sir, I gotta go. My baby mama and my son here. It's an emergency. I gotta go. I just jump in the car. She like, Tom, what's going on? I said, nigga, pull off. So she pulls off. She's like, what kind of shit you got me on? I said, bro, I just had to quit that job, bro. They had me out there. I said, look how I'm dressed. They had me selling windshield wiper at the Texaco off Boulder Crest Road, talking about some motherfucking wipe on, wipe off. And we had to do the test. We wasn't just selling it. We're like, yo, you want me to test? I felt like the nigga, the J, that be trying to windshield wipe you at the stop sign.
I was about to say, yeah.
Bruh, I was like, this shit crazy.
I'm screaming.
Those type of experiences I think about whenever I'm at a job that pays me well and I want to buy something new. I'm like, bro, I never want to be in a position where I can't quit this job because of all the experiences I've had.
So traumatizing. I can't match you, but you reminded me before I was working at Racetrack, I did a job interview at Wendy's, but the Wendy's that I did the interview at was like in Morrow, right?
Yep. I know exactly where that Wendy's at.
They liked me. They thought it was really good, but I'm thinking I'm gonna work at this Wendy's tomorrow. After the interview, they were like, oh, one more thing. How would you feel to work in a high crime rated area. Like a high crime rated area. I said, what you mean high crime?
Who asked that in an interview?
Well, you know, just like if they got like bar on the windows. Cause you know, we have you working late. And
It just went off. Okay.
I was just like, so I'm not gonna be working here. They're like, no, we're looking for you somewhere else. Now me being, I think I was 19. I'm like, shit, I'll do it. I gotta tell my mama. I was like, they just want me to work in a high crime rate. A what?
Yeah.
You wanna work where? So there was no Wendy's in my future. But that's the kind of like experiences that come with looking for work at times when you just try to get a job.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, I was gonna be the actual president if the bar had bars on the window. But you know, hearing about the windshield wipers, there's people that would thug it out.
Ah, man, listen, let me tell you something, bro. When you have overhead that you have to manage, you are more at the gun of the workforce, right? And that's really what it all boils down to. The shiny prison theory is like, you just don't want to have a gun at your head. You want to be able to have the gun to point it somewhere else by saying, you know what, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this.
I'm out of
and
here.
you can be out of there in a respectful way, you know what I'm saying? Now, I quit the job, that wasn't a respectful way to quit the job.
No.
Because then, mind you, my car in Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out, she got to take me to Gwinnett County to get my car, all that type of shit.
They
right?
should have told you more though. I don't
Yeah, no, they did. They should have told me more. But that was just one of those things where you're just panicking, right?
Right.
And what I learned from that experience is, before I even knew or thought about what fuck you money was or what it meant, I've always been like, man, I gotta do things that don't rely, like, I can't just do things just to make money. Like, I can go work a job to make money. But if I'm gonna find purpose in life, it can't be because I'm doing it to make money. Because when I started trying to learn about the music business, it was doing piracy. When they was like, oh, there ain't no money in music. So I'm like, oh, ain't no money in music. And here I go, I'm rolling into music.
Yeah, right.
Because I was interested in publishing. I was interested on how the business worked from an entertainment perspective. I found out a little later that my grandfather was in music, not in it, but he enjoyed music. Like, that was something that entertainment was something he always tried to create around his businesses. Not that he was in entertainment, he just enjoyed playing music at the club that he owned, or you know, playing music, owning these different juke joints where music, people would come and have parties and events and things of that nature. So he saw value in hospitality and music always being a thing, right? And so me not knowing that and then falling into music, because I definitely fell into it. I tried to quit this a few times. But what happened is I started to realize that you can control how you go about your actual journey here on earth. You can't control the responses that the environment gives you. But if you got $10 and you decide not to spend that 10 to go home, you control that. Right? Nobody didn't force you to spend no money to go out and get a drink, or to go out and buy another pair of new shoes, or to go out, whatever the case may be. Nobody, you can control that. You can control your emotions. You can control your actions, right? And when we realize that we are on a quicker path to financial wellness, financial literacy, AKA fuck you money, I'm removing myself from this because it doesn't serve me, all of those different elements. And I think that that's what the baseline of understanding how to escape the shiny prison and what it actually looks like when you're in that shiny prison. Because it don't feel like the shiny prison. You know what I'm saying? So when we nailing it down and we get into the nitty gritty of it, when it comes to fuck you money and how it relates to shiny prison, it is mismanagement of your overhead because you got a bump. When you get a bump in your income, when you get your income taxes, when you get if you hit a scratch off, you know what I'm saying? Or if somebody passed away, you get a life insurance policy payout. Or you get into a car accident and they was in the wrong and now you get a settlement for 10, 20, 30,000, right? Or if you get back child support because your dad ain't take care of what he need to take care of, you get a back child support check that you didn't really anticipate at 18 years old, 19 years old, you know, or you're able to sell something, whatever it is, when you get that bump, always remember, don't put yourself in the shiny prison. Put yourself in a more of a positioning where you can be more so in the driver's seat of a car
that you want to drive.
That you want to drive,
yeah.
Right? And now you can say that 20% bump that I just got, that extra 20 grand, I'm gonna take 5, put it in the market. I'm gonna take another 5 to see, can I buy some ATM machines, or buy some vending machines. Then I'm gonna take that other 10, I'm gonna figure out if I'm gonna get me a life insurance policy, pay it up, a whole life, VUL, $200,000 cash value, because I'm in good shape. So now I can start building that, paying that out over time, building up this groundswell of financial freedom, because it's a seed that you're planting. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you for that. That was an excellent episode of Fuck You Money, if I do say so myself. I hope you guys have heard the message and can apply it to your lives.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Next time on Fuck You Money.